There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We judge it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Foreign people who willing to serve. The blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The brothers who giving us here and the promise from them. The work of my life without fear.
I lyrical
Master.
Play Paris who make on you. I can't ask it if you been you. Say my journey, Tina can ask my jamo. And you no money, the more I get you. And you love our money, the more I get you. What is
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could buy ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could buy ya to money, and I forget it now ya to money. That's the biggie, and I forget it now. Cause you work on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talk it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Foreign people who waiting to serve. The flesh, the time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving a real and the premise from best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat, the San to Backwalu, from Maryland, Bonkan to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
They feel that don't talk about the poverty they are in, and by the time you talk, you want to redeem them from poverty, they will insult you. And that's just a fact. So there will be people who insult, there will be people who disagree, there will be people who want to say what they want to say, and just that it's just been on and on and on, especially for us in the media. We are the kind of people that our people they insult for no reason. Jump the list, criminals, you've been bought, you this and that. They will say everything they want to say, but at the end of the day, when they have issues, they will run to the same John the list. Hey God, they will run to the same John the list with their complaints. When they have labor issues, when they have issues that are affecting them, they run to the same John the list. The same people that they were insulting back to back run to them for help because they believe that, it's not good to fake things. You know very well that these politicians, they are not in your interest, but you are pretending. You are worshiping them. And at the end of the day, you come back to us and you insult us. Those of us who stand tall, we stand, and challenge the system. Some of you today, let me just say it quickly. We even first, I will speak to all of you. We in the media, we challenge the system from 2006 up to now. See, where are we today? The media. Some of you can call on the radio and talk freely. It's because of the media. It's because of the media. We challenge the system. We say, no, we won't sit here and allow the system to go to the front page Africa. See how people insulting. Look, this country of ours is just interesting. Well, anyway, good evening. Let me share the link. Yeah, Mo will be here very soon with us. Brother Ali will be here very soon with us. If media institutions come up with their own statistics, even if you are supporter or that other person of that politicians or what you may call person, recent, when the rain fall, it don't fall on one person. That's the beauty of God for me. That all I can say about God, when the sun shines, it shines on the good and bad people. When the rain fall, it fall on the good and bad people. Think about that. What that mean? When the system got rotten, the way we're in today, it's not one person feeling it. Even the media is still a challenge. But you know, it's good. You cry over article 80D and E. You confuse. Because they will not educate you. They will not tell you anything. Nothing they will tell you. Nothing. But again, good evening, people. Yeah, we're here. Today is Tuesday, having to be the 9th of December, the 12th month, and the year remains the same, 2025. Don't be deterred by some of the people. Look, let me tell you, some of your people that you will see today who are supporting some of the wrong things, they are heartless people. There are people who have horses. They take money from people, from their own librarians. They charge them how they want to charge them just because they have opportunity maybe to pay 1 or 2 horses. So they charge the people, and because the system is not working, so they benefit from this system. What do you expect from them? So they join the politicians. Well, anyway, let's share the show. The show will be interesting. We will talk about the 14 additional districts that have been added. Then just on the topic about the politics, the politicians, and so forth. We'll discuss that today. And all of the 20 national issues. You know, yesterday I saw a video from Lofa County that brought tears in my eyes about a man, I don't know, in 60 or 70 that were busher, you know, caught. What? Anyway, let me see first. Let me see how to share the show first. Yeah, because indeed interesting insight and it's embarrassing. The man that got killed in Lofa County for no reason, but because the person that did that act, the person felt that they may get money or they may have better life than him, so you want to take away the man's life and take the man's property or and take the man maybe at King Juice seller. The man have sugarcane farm, or he may be having maybe some interaction with people who have sugarcane farm. And the man produce a little cane juice. You kill the man just because, you know, the young people, Jesus, Lord, just forgot said it for true and you're right. We got to get a young people job, oh, they need money. Oh, God. And a young man did that thing. But that's share the show, people. Go evening. Share the show. Interesting. Today will be interesting. Because all of you got to have your say today in all of the national issues, the 20 national issue of the day that have to do with the House of Representatives. From matter of fact, they have already signed, you know, a communication or the bill and, you know, agreeing to the census. There was census that were held in 2022. You know, sometimes some of us we don't read. That was suffer us. Even the people that claim to be educated, that have all of the best of degrees and everything, they don't read. They don't do research. Since the war, I think the first census that was 1984 or 1984, 1985. That was the last census before the war. So after the war, 2008, we had another census. And I mean, after the war now. So, and before the war, like, the population was around, you know, they were just getting, 2.8, 1.8, and then all kinds of things. So when we moved on after the war, 2008, we went, we called the government to have census, and the census tell us that we were around 3.4 million people. You know, and you can't have the population like that, then you don't have these districts, or what you may call, you don't have all of the things in tight. So because of that, the government by them, headed by Mr. Eddie Johnson, said of the Unity Party again, set up a threshold. I think the threshold was around 45,000, was that 45 or 40,000 per district. But by then we're having 64 lawmakers from 1984 all the way to Chancellor time and so forth. We're having 64 lawmakers, and after that they added additional what? Let's do the mathematics, and I increased up to 73. That means 2011 elections. That's how we went to 73 lawmakers. But again, some of you, these things sound strange. These things sound like is this your first time hearing these things because you are not being educated to these things. Your lawmakers, your government of the Republic of Liberia refuse to educate you. It's in the budget. It's in the constitution that they should educate you. Make sure that you are even in schools, but they don't want to do it. Anyway, my brother Mark is here. No time to waste. My dear brother Mark, good evening. Good afternoon.
Share the show, please, guys. Today is what? Tuesday, right? The 9th of December. We got approximately 16 more days to hit the holiday season. We call it the season because it's from December 25th to January 1st up to the new year. So we're in that period. It's still considered the season. And Sktv will be coming back fresh and brand new next year. New programming, we're not only here for the politics. We're going to be doing some game theory here for our audience. I told you folks, things are cooking behind the scenes. So from some of you that are not in the habit of making your regular contribution towards Sktv being on the radio, there will come a time you will run behind Sktv, and we are getting there slowly. It's not some fake promise. That's a reality. And once things get settled behind the scene, we start. You know, something is happening around the world, and people don't pay attention when things are happening. There is always a shift globally. There is something we call artificial intelligence now, AI. They call it the 5th industrial revolution. When you read history, maybe we came from slavery. Slavery was, they got 3 factors of production when you do high school economics, right? Land, labor, and capital. You got the money, you got the land, but you need people to work the land. So that's how they came up with slavery. Slavery was mainly an idea wherein powerful kingdoms or countries, that by the time they were not countries, we say regions, they would go and overpower the smaller and weaker ones and use their people as slaves to work the field. That was the main idea behind slavery. Because you cannot have a powerful military, we have a powerful economy. You must first grow an economy before you can have a military. Exactly. I mean, that's how it works. So the smaller kingdom, if you read whether that Asian, Africa, or Europe, anywhere they were, it was all about conquest. Conquest means I take over your people and use your men to come and work the field, slavery, and that's how we came. But as time went by, we transitioned from slavery to labor, and then we went to something we call the rise of the machine. They called it the Industrial Revolution. Prior to World War I, the Europeans and mainly American colonies at the time, they shifted to machine. That the same work the human being can do, we need machine to make it very easier. Even though they need a human, it won't be as too rigid as for the physical labor. That's why they call it the Industrial Revolution. We started making machines. I said the typewriter, a grass cutting machine, the pressing iron. These are all little machines that were used to improve people's life. So when they came out with the Industrial Revolution, that's how you had the issue of immigration. It was because of the Industrial Revolution that we came out with immigration. So all the powerful countries, the Westerners, they still wanted people, even though the machine was there, but the machine was not as powerful as they used. I mean, like they are today in terms of technology. So they came out with immigration. And what do? You go to poorer countries. That's why when you come to America, you don't see too many people from rich countries. Countries that are doing better, they don't come here. When you go to poor Asian country, poor African country, those are all, we are from poor countries. We are the one that are in majority in America. So you come with immigration, which is also a modern form of slavery, if you want to call it, because it was just a transition. But this time, they are not forcing you. You are coming willingly. You fill an application to the immigration process. You come here, you stay in line, you play by the rules, and over time, you get document to work here legally. But it was still the transition.
And in fact, you had to play DV. Can you imagine, though?
The DV.
You had to play a lotto.
Yeah. DV is just one of many programs. They got student visa, they get H-1B visa for smart people, geniuses, people that are doing well, academically to come and contribute to the growth of the West. So when we came from that, there was something that came in the 90s, they called it dot-com bubble. When Netscape went public, we went to the internet. The internet was a tool that transformed human history, where everything became online with a click of a button. We started connecting networks across the world, and it changed the workforce. People could work from home. People could work online, things that people could do physically. You could click a few buttons and get a lot of job done. And in 1990, we came with the dot-com bubble before we came
especially with the letter issue, writing of letter, people taking the letter, somebody working 2-3 days just to carry communication somewhere. Mom, you are making a very beautiful history of today.
So I'm working it down to get to the AI part. So we came to the dot-com bubble or the internet bubble, send electronic email. Instead of sending somebody a physical letter, you could literally send an email with just a mouse, and the person will receive an electronic mail. That's why they call it email. But then after that, people came up with new ideas. Then we went to something we call the Web 2.0, where we came to the world of social media and augmented reality. Now, after that, we came. Maybe hold on 1 second. Continue. Let me take a call quick.
Yes, indeed, Mom, because the calls keep coming back to back. So to what Mom just stated, those of you, Mom, yeah, good. So yes, that's the fact. You know, but then we used to do, in fact, Mom slip over certain thing. The way we used to communicate before used to be some of the honk, you know, our people, but then they used to blow the horn or so on. Even they ring bell of churches, right? The only time you will know that maybe the church time is nearing is when they ring that bell, that church bell, or they knock that stuff, right? Then you will know that the church time is getting closer. That's how, during those days, that's how our parents, our fathers and mothers, that's how they used to go to church by them. But gradually, life, human, continued to improve, and today, the Western world, today, they get us today to where we are today. But Africa will say no. Forever will remain the way we are. Please, don't change us. Let our life remain that day. Let die the way we are. Even if our forefathers struggled before, no, we won't remain at this.
Yep. So I came from stage 3, right? And then after the Internet of Things, internet, we came all the way to the 2000, 2010, 2020 now. Then we came to something called automation. That is the human being giving the machine instruction, right? We're talking about smart machine now, right? Complicated machines. So we came to automation, but automation is not the end. Now we are taking it to a whole different level, wherein we are taking human capabilities and putting in the machine, because when you use the machine, you still have to program the machine and work the machine. But now the machine will be doing the creative thinking of a human being, wherein the machine, you're not only putting programming language on it for it to run automatically, the machine will be doing calculation and computation that a human being could use. I'm talking about smart thinking being transferred to the machine. That we call it augmented. That's why they call it the 5th industrial revolution. And something has been happening in America. We've been following the news, not the news because they don't show regular news on TV anyway, or politics. Lots of countries are positioning for the AI revolution. So in the last 10 months, there have been more than $16 trillion worth on investment, because AI operates on 2 major components. It works on smart chips, it works on data center and electricity or energy, because you're talking about fast machine and they consume a lot of electricity. Your laptop at home, it consumes more current than your TV, your Xbox, all the appliances combined in your house. That how, because the processing power. So from Saudi Arabia to Qatar to the UAE to Microsoft to OpenAI, all the companies in America, they are building that data center because they know the next 3 years it will be another boom like we saw in the 1990s with the internet. So what they are doing right now, they are building all the infrastructure. So America attracted almost $16 trillion. The Qatari government, I think 1.4, Japan, another 1 billion, or Saudi Arabia invested almost $1.2 trillion. Everybody want to position themselves because they know everything starts from America. So people are making that investment in America for this new coming 5th industrial revolution called the automation or AI. That's why it's happening in America. So we will be telling our people moving next year, we will be giving some game theory on Sktv. When it comes to buying cheaper stocks, that's how people get money in this country. You don't only get money from just going to work and putting in the hours. You buy stocks that are cheaper with companies that have potential. Maybe you put $500 here, you put $1,000 there, and over time, when the boom happens, that's how you make money. Because think about buying a new company stock that is trading at maybe $5 or $10. In 2 or 3 years from now, it boom up to $500. So it means even $1,000 investment will give you more than $50,000 in profit. You just buy the stock and hold the stock. So new year, new things. There will be new paradigm shift on Sktv. We will not only be talking to politics. I will even be taking a break before the holiday. But I don't want to take most time on the show. I just want to give our people update here that a lot of things are in the problem, and we will be coming through on Sktv. So Sktv is here to stay with long-term vision and a lot of good things in the work. That's all I can say for Sktv right now.
Wonderful, my dear brother. So quickly to that, Monk, maybe one of the clear examples that I can give to our people is the counter meat. So those of you who just listen to Monk, maybe you may not grab something from what Monk just stated. But even the counter meat, how far we going? Every time you do the same thing. By the time the counter meat is around the corner, you do this thing for politicians, but you don't know. Because the politicians, they will steal all of the praises, they will steal everything at the end of the day, but nothing there for you or even the future generation or the young people. Where in this world you continue to have counter meat with the same old age system over and nothing has changed. But you're happy. We will support the country again. By Sunday, the country may start. But where are we? It's the old system. We're still struggling for players. Well, anyway, Mom, that's it. Thank you, my dear brother. We will do this thing for us. That's why when we come here, we're not coming to be attacking specific group of people. We'll be talking about people, because we know there are a lot of SOEs that are not even doing good. Well, when we come here, waste all of our time and be bashing them. So we just go on the the entire government and tell you that the system is a mess. So that's it, people. Brother Ali, good evening. Welcome, my brother.
Good afternoon, Mabel. Good afternoon, Mom. Good afternoon to our listening audience. I'm okay, my man. How you guys doing? How Mama Liberia?
Well, we're okay. Thank God for life. Apart from some of the later news, which may be coming from the lower house about the additional 14 seats that will be added based on the census that have been conducted, or in fact, conducted sometimes ago, 2022. In the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia, Article 80D and E, talk about populations grow and so forth, and how to handle the electoral process, the trust rule, and the increase of numbers in various districts and so forth. And even though the Constitution talk about it shouldn't exceed 100, I think 100 of districts. There where we start. But today, we get with the later news that additional 14 districts are now being added on the 73 districts. So we may likely be hitting 87 districts moving forward up to the next 10 years when we have census or not. But so far, yes, that's the latest news I've been trending, my brother. Yeah, and apart from that, also with our topic on yesterday, we did talk about the politics, the way the politicians are jumping from one end to another end, the political parties, all of the political parties. So maybe today, these are two major issues that we'll be talking about today. And also, not too long, we received this information that the U.S. government and that of the of Liberia, every time there are a lot of news, some 124 million USD, 5 years MOU to improve public health. That's a good news, but we don't know how that's going to work, because sometimes some of the news, when it comes, our people will receive it, but for the news to take a direct effect, there where the problem lies. So Liberia is still waiting for donors. Liberia is still waiting for people to help us, but we have the money, but we pay the money to our lawmakers. We pay the money to our government officials, but waiting for people to come and give us helping hand. So, as far as we are concerned, that the latest news that indeed the government of Liberia and the U.S. State Department has signed the 124 million USD 5 years MOU. They call it MOU. But Mark, so that's the latest name. Maybe you want to chip in on that. Then, Brother Ali can come on.
Well, it's the same old story. It's the same thing. We are some advocated for good governance so we can transition from the handout. We have been living on handout for more than a century in Liberia. That every time, that is not a workable strategy. We have never enjoyed the benefits. Some of the monies that came to Liberia, when you hear them in the amount of billions and you look at the country, where the country is infrastructure-wise, you can't even believe that more than 5 or 10 billion was spent in Liberia. If you go back to the days of Madam Sally, look at all those foreign direct investment, donor aid. We're talking about people giving 300 million. If you get $300 million per year over 10 years, that's 3 billion. You do the math. Does Liberia look like a country that attracted 3 or 4 billion? Can you see this thing? No. Most of the things are called paper money. They are nothing but monopoly money because the realities are not on ground. We are talking about smart governance. We are talking about visionary leadership wherein we can generate our own taxes and revenue and make investment in ourselves. We build roads, we build schools, we build hospitals. That's what other countries are doing. Yeah, if the donors come and give you extra fund, that's just an extra bonus. We see it as bonus. It's not something we can be counting on. Look at what happened in USAID. They said they would join 300 million. Now, from West Africa called the slow earthquake or something, what would they call the quiet earthquake, where in the Swedish government, one of our, I think, if not the second largest bilateral donor, will be withdrawing $139 million because they must focus on what's happening in Ukraine or strategic repositioning because they must find out the military operation in NATO and they cannot be spending money knowing fully whether the country are raised. And one thing about Sweden, they are in the Nordic Sea. They are very close to Russia too, and people don't recognize that. So if there is a problem between Ukraine and Sweden is part of NATO, then more than likely they also face a military risk as well. So they got no penny to be spending out there. It never only affected Liberia. I think it was Mozambique and Zimbabwe and Tanzania were also victims of this call. So Sierra Leone and other people. So we tell you, do the right thing. But yet we are increasing the size of government by bringing in 14 more seats. Maybe they anticipated they moved. That's why they added $10 million to the lawmakers' budget because they are about to create another 14 seats. We will spend millions of dollars on local election. We will pay them, get them gas. For them, it's not about growing the economy because they know whether the economy does better or not, they will still get paid. Their money won't change. So they are not interested in making your life better. They don't want to create jobs. They're not going to bring factories and investment. No, they will just keep milking your budget because at the end of the day, when they are cut, you will feed the cut. They will not feed the cut. That's why for them, it's all about creating more and expanding the government, even though you're not getting the result that you want. So we'll talk about that also. That's the two major issues. And the political playbook, because we started the conversation yesterday. The question for today to our audience will be very simple. People say we cannot break away from the two political party system, but there is a race factor to that because the two party system in recent memory, they haven't served us well. So if you are saying the only way to win is to go through this two party, you are technically saying that we don't want better results for Liberia. In order to win, just be on CDC side or Unity Party side. So a Unity Party is not in power, CDC is in power. Some of us say no, the numbers are there, but the political party must consider that to create a third option to give the Liberian people an impression that a third candidate can give a surprise and win and destroy this two-party system. So if you are telling me the only way to win an election in Liberia is to align with CDC and Unity Party, then it means you cannot make the argument that the country will do better. Because you are saying just for traditional sake, just be on one or two sides, no other way around. So even if we got better candidate and better political institution, we still cannot give the attention because we must always be aligned with CDC and Unity Party. Like I said, that's the risk factor. If you want to take a bet on that theory that we should marry to a two-party system, then you are literally saying we don't want a result. But if you want something differently, then even though it might be tough, but we can try it, and there is a possibility. But with one condition from yesterday, that the opposition party should form an alliance that will be so strong that even the average Liberian, even a child in the village can see and say, yes, our politicians are finally ready for business. Until then, it remains the same. So we'll be hearing from the colors, why they are take. they gamble that can win and can lose.
Well, thank you, my brother. Brother Ali, what say you with the latest and all of the happening?
Yeah, all of the happening the latest today. Yes, first of all, those people, I think, trying to have 14 more seats based on census result and what have you. And like Mon said, that is why they increase their budget, because this is what they have planned to do. We heard this before. They started discussing it, I think, 3-4 months ago, and now they have come to that. But as they will be or adding their seat up, they should be reducing their tenure. That's the one important to some of us here today, because you can get those good for nothing people doing nothing for the country to be sitting over there 9 years, 6 years. That's why most important to me. They have to cut down their tenure position those years. Senator, you had to come down to 6. President, representative, you come down to 4. Let's get 6 full. America here we get 2, 4, 6. The representative go for 2 years, or the president go for 4 years. The senator go for 6 years. But Liberia we just need 6 full. So they they can add all their thing up, but that's what is very important. And this MOU of 124 million, congratulations to President Boakai and his administration in advance. This is just an MOU.
5 years.
Okay, and most of those MOU come with
in fact, we're going 2 years already, but on 4 more years.
Some of those things come with certain criteria and things you have to meet up with before now it can go into full swing. Okay, this is just a memorandum of understanding that they went through. So I wish them the best. Liberia is all we have. We wish our country the best, and I hope everything goes well. But 178 years old country will stay there to be celebrating, for people to be giving all aid and things, and wherein the money we're wasting in the country, those people that we're depending on to even help us, they don't carry on such wasteful spending. But America, you have to be careful. We are not working here 24/6 for you to be taking our money and be wasting it out there to unserious countries around the world. The day we go, oh yes, because one day, Mom, don't be surprised. One day we rise up here too against the government. People will.
Oh my God, already happening here.
Okay, because people can be doing 2-3 jobs here. You work, you pay rent, you pay bill, you left with nothing. And then all the taxes we pay, you'll be giving it to unserious country to enrich themselves, because even the money now, just now you get them like 124 million, boom. Why you give it to them for? They are not going to use it for that intended purpose. You see, at the end of the day, they will say, oh, we're coming to do all the people going to do all kinds of things, added to their budget, their benefit and things. You see? So we can be here working, here be misusing our taxes that we pay into the country. That's not good.
So okay, so we have thank you, Brother Ali. So we have two major issues to discuss. I don't want us to move quickly before the time maybe catch up us. So on today, the plenary of the House of Representatives vote in fact they voted on to add additional 14 seats in the House of Representatives ahead of the 2029 elections. Members of the House of Representatives during the 16-day sitting of the third quarter of the second session have voted to add 14 additional seats to the House of Representatives, and they then move straightly to the county. Yeah, we don't want, because people already. By the way, let me just read the other one. The decision followed the submission of the detailed report from the Joint Committee on Elections and Inauguration, Judiciary and Good Governance and Government Reform outlined a constitutionally and politically valid framework for the reappointment of Liberia's constituencies ahead of the 2029 general and presidential elections. According to the Joint Committee's recommendations, the 14 seats will be allocated as follows: 1. Monserrado County with 4 seats. 2. Lofa County with 2 seats. 3. Nimba County with 2 seats. 4. Bon County with 2 seats. 5. Grand Bassa County with 1 seat. 6, Margibi County with 1 seat. 7, Grand Cayman County with 1 seat. And 8 of the last, Grand Juliet County with 1 seat. So according to this, we'll go back to Article 80D and E, mandating electoral constituency and have roughly equal populations. But again, I move by mock. This is by law, even though the reactions from the public today is not really encouraging. That you stated based on how the lawmakers, based on how our people, our leaders, especially from the House of Representatives and Senate, the way they've been treating their people. That's why today they receive, or in fact, that's why they are receiving the kind of mixed reactions. But this is by law. So that move on more. What say you?
Well, it is by law, but it's about the application of the law and where the law makes sense, right? There will always be population growth. At times, go by Liberia, we used to be in the 1 million. From there, we went to 2. From there, we went to 3. We are in 5 million. So the question is, are you going to keep increasing the electoral district on the map as the population grows? When I came to this country, it took me a while. That's why I said the most ingenious system on the planet I have ever seen when I understood what they call the electoral college in America here. In this country, Melbourne, there are 538 electoral districts in all 50 states, right? And it's 270 to win the presidential election. But the people understood one thing, the framers of the law here. They said, no, we know that the population will not be evenly distributed across all 50 states. There will be states that will have higher population and there will be states that will have lower population, right? So let's do it in a way based on the congressional district in a state. That's how you can put all together to get a 270 to win the presidential election, because the congressional district is based on the population in the state. So take, for example, you don't need to add more electoral district, because when the population increasing, it means some counties in Liberia will be increasing population and some will be reducing, because it can happen at once. Maybe the population of Nema County increased, but the population of the Southeast have reduced. Maybe there are people living from Margibi to Bond. So what the American government does is they look at the migration, across the 538 electoral district. The state that gain more population growth is the one that they increase that number in terms of the electoral district. The one that people are moving away from, they reduce that number. Typical example, California is 55. But over the past 1.5 years, more than 800,000 people left from California and moved to Texas. So when they do redistricting, Texas will gain more seats and California is going to lose seats. The same thing for New Jersey and other states, and people moving to Florida and Atlanta. So, they got sense when it comes to stealing, but they don't have sense when it comes to giving results to the Liberian people. That's why I said, one time on this show, I said, if Liberia adopt the electoral college system, it will be the most fairest way to go by election in Liberia. Because let me give you a typical example. Montserrat has 17 electoral college or 17 electoral district. It means the candidate that wins in Montserrat County wins 17 electoral vote. Next on the calendar, I think it's Nema, right? They got 9 electoral district, right? So, but the one thing they will do is, if you adopt that system, it means you will need 38 electoral vote to win the election. Now, the one thing it will do for Liberia is, we don't need to pick a candidate from Nema County just because we want to win an election. It means all the counties will be competitive. Because even if you win Montserrat and you win Nema and you win Bond, you still cannot be president. You have to go and appeal to the people in Grand Cayman. You must appeal to the people in Lofa. You must appeal to the people in San Jose. So it makes every county on the map competitive. But for the past 15 to 20 years, we must take somebody from Nema County, even though they are not the best and the brightest anyway when it comes to a presidential candidate or vice presidential candidate. Why you think a man like Prince Johnson could literally decide the outcome of 4 elections in Liberia? I have to say he's a god for the entire country. No, Prince Johnson is only a hero for you in Nema County. He's not hero for all Southeastern or people from Western Liberia. But guess what? Because they seem crazy, nonsensical way of voting in terms of the popular vote, that's why he can become relevant. So everybody is juggling from somebody from Nema County. And it shouldn't be that way. If you have an electoral college system, it means I can take my vice presidential candidate from either Grand Crew or Sano or Grand Cayman or Pommy. Because with an electoral vote, it means every county remain competitive. But in the case of Liberia, no, they only know how to ask, seat, and steal from you. But when it comes to using that brain to bring about result and transform the system, no, they don't have brain for that. Only to steal money. So that's why you got in Liberia.
But more quickly, before Ali come up, more with all of the crowd coming from our people, because mind you, though, our people, they feel very frustrated today that in fact with the too many hauling and pulling these appointments coming from the lower house, especially from our lawmakers, then additional 14% will be adding to them, to take away the national cake already. Like for example, the $1.2 billion and at 1.2, you have 900. Can you imagine that? You have 990 some more million dollars just going for salaries and so forth. But they are disappointed more. What say you? Is that because the people are feeling disappointed because the bad leadership, or what happened? What going wrong?
I would talk about voter education. I think we had a conversation yesterday. People talk about voter education. I said, no, voter has been educated for as long as I've been knowing myself in Liberia before coming to the US here or anywhere in the world. The fact is, our people are not interested in paying attention to what's happening in the country. There is one thing to know something, there's another thing to pay attention when it's happening. They're two different things. They are not the same. Maybe all the things we explain on the show, the same thing they will come and repeat it. Why you think that is the case? You think that they are not informed or they don't know? No, they know about census. They're not the first thing happening on Madam Salif. They know about electoral process. They know how things work. But the question is, the folks in the middle, they have no interest in the process because they believe of the same two-party takeover of the state. And the ones that already got the education, they are not interested in paying attention. They could care less. So at the end of the day, politicians will make decisions that irrespective of what the people think. And everywhere in the world, before decision is being made, the first people they can consider are the people. They must first get the consensus of the people. But in the case of Liberia, who cares? If you're going to be dancing the party headquarters every time, no matter what happens in the country, whether they steal 100 million from the central bank, you don't care. You must buy a t-shirt, even though you don't have food at home, things tough, you don't have a job, and you must go and dance. So, like I said, the politicians will continue to abuse us in Liberia because they understand one thing. The people are unserious and they don't pay attention to details. So that's why. It's not about their performances, no. Their performance hinges on the reaction from the people. You think now, if this news was to surface in another country, we are talking about costs, international partners and donors making cut. You would think that this government will be thinking how to re-strategize the budget creatively to make up, to fill in the gap, to cut down wasteful spending and abuse, where to make smart investment. No, but they are telling you they want to add more seats. They're not interested in making the country better. They are interested in enriching themselves. That's all you can say.
Well, thank you, Mark. But Ali, what say you? Because this is constitutional, though. You don't want to blame this on any of the government, whether past, present, and so forth, or maybe moving forward. But this is by law, because if you go back to Article 80D and other E, talk about this. But again, the frustration on the faces of our people is just overwhelmed. What say you, my brother?
Yeah, but yeah, as you said, this kind of news, even though yes, it is by law, but why do you think it is by law, but people are not happy? People are not celebrating this. Why you think so? Because what? Even those that you have there, what are they doing? The 73 you have there, what are they doing? These are just wasteful people we have over there. Nothing they are doing, and you coming to add another one there. So it just to tell them that their suffering is coming to increase. This is why you see they are not happy. The $1.2 billion budget, what is there to benefit the people? What is in that budget that will make impacting the lives of the Liberian people? So this is why you see people are not happy. Because if you increase your country budget to 1.2 billion and you people are carrying on wasteful spending, wherein the citizens are not happy, they are crying because while you people are the one enjoying the resources of the country, according to Jeremiah Kuhn, 105 people enjoying the country resources while the rest are suffering. So if you people coming with $1.2 billion budget, what you need to do? Cut down this wasteful spending. You tell the Liberian people, okay, yeah, we no longer buy $45,000 cars 2 times in a year. Oh yeah, they gas allowance, they scratch car, all the things, we cut it down so we can be able to increase the budget. We put the money agriculture, health sector, the school, and all of these things. So if you are doing that as a lawmaker, you're talking about adding another 14 seats, the Liberian people, when you do it, you do that, and it is making impact in their life, they will not be frustrated. But what are they doing that the Liberian people are happy of? That when they increase the seat, they will be happy. And this is why you see people are not happy. because those that are there, they are not doing nothing to impact their lives. So when you bring in other people there, that will enrich yourself and to suffer them more. That's the common logic. Yes, it is by law. That's what the law says. Let it go ahead and do it. But for me, it's just another suffering for the Liberian people. It's not going to make any impact. That's all.
You know, they talk about the census. They want to give you one picture of the census by adding seats to certain counties, right? When you conduct census, it means you conduct census throughout the entire country, the demographic, the young people, the age range, right? Education, everything from the counties. Okay, if a population is growing, it means certain part of the country is also losing population. People are migrating, right? People are moving. Okay, the question is, the other seat to this county that you just named, which one of those counties in Liberia of all 15 political subdivisions end up losing population? Because population don't remain stagnant. It's either growing or reducing. People are always moving from one place to another. Like I just said, in the US here, people left from New Jersey, California, and New York the most, and they moved to Florida, Texas, and Georgia. So even though the population is growing, but it's not growing in all 15 counties. So the question is, which county on the map continue to lose inhabitants? This is where the census also give a clear picture. But no, it's a political maneuvering for them. They are looking for places where they will get more numbers in the house and get total control of the system. So in area where maybe the other people believe that, oh, we got scream here, we can increase the seat here, because guess what? They bring in two parties in to come add to the gravy train to steal from you. That's why people are not happy for this, even though it's by law. But like I said, it's not only about the law, it's about the application of the law and where it benefits the people. Because no matter, even if they can carry the lawmaker to 100, they will all get paid. They will all get a gas slip. No matter what happened in the budget, they will get their share fresh. So they don't care. The people who supposed to be mostly terrified and worried that developmental partners and bilateral partners are leaving the country and taking a big hit that will be hard to feel. No, they could care less. For them, this story means nothing to them. That's the problem we face in Liberia. The things that affect the people the most, they don't even care about it. They don't even pay attention to these things. That's the frustrating part.
Well, thank you, Mark. Even though there are other people too who are also in support, some of the political supporters of those politicians or those one who support politicians, they are also in support, and they already start to even divide some of the districts already. They say, oh, yeah, the other district will come from there, but they don't care.
Yeah.
They just put them on, but they don't care about the aftermath. They don't care about what's going to happen, because even they just say 8,000 per month times 14 persons. Do you know how much that's going to be? 2,000
gas
of gasoline.
Gas station. That's a gas station. Don't say gasoline.
The gas station. Do you know how much that's going to be? Well, for us, we see this thing like, it's just, look, Mark, you know, I've been following a lot of things around the world, and I follow that Africa is just unique to poverty. Because all part of Africa, I don't see how many countries that are even making progress to say yes, even though some of the countries, they are fighting to transition from poverty to better life, but the worst of the other countries, and those countries that are even worse, there are many. So even if you want to talk about, maybe you want to talk about Egypt, you want to talk about Tunisia, and maybe the other country, no, but what happened to the rest of the other country? Because you can be having almost 54 states or countries.
54 states.
Then you have maybe about
doing better. Less than 10 doing better. Economically.
Thank you. Good. So that's why when people are talking, they always say Africa is poor and we make no progress. We're in this world that we want to waste all of our resources in the pocket of politicians. And we think that it's sports. We think that it's good. Mom.
And that's a smart thing you just said. Why they always associate Africa is synonymous to poverty? Because of the 54 states, out of 50 plus, less than 10 are doing okay economically. Maybe I would say Tanzania, right now, Ghana, I would say, or Rwanda,
good
African state. But the rest of them are still in abject poverty. That's why the Westerners, they always associate poverty. That's why when you come to this country, maybe anything when you come to begging for money, when you come to humanitarian aid, they go to the poor African country, take picture, and create a bleak narrative that we are.
Exactly. Africa is poor. Cool,
so because of the reality, that's how human being think. Human being, people can say, oh, you don't like the stereotypes. That's a lot. Stereotyping is typical of human nature. Anything people see, that's what they believe. If I come to Africa and go to 54 states and less than 10 are doing better, how you think I'm going to classify Africa? I'm going to classify you as a poverty.
Africa is poor.
They're talking about stereotype. Why are all the countries in Europe, why you can say half of them or 1/3 of them are in poverty? All of them doing better. And you won't argue.
When you grab the whole entire thing, no, you know, but again, that's a society, because when you talk, all of you talk, everything we talk here today at the end of the month, you know, and one thing that really getting to me is that our followers, the citizens themselves, Mom, they will attack you and myself. I don't know what, it's not one of the stations, but they attack so many radio stations.
Oh, yes.
Like, why are you attacking these people? Sometimes I can be thinking, why are you attacking people when people are speaking about the ills, about this thing that your politicians continue to do? Now we're coming here, 87 lawmakers.
Yeah.
Already you have K2. That entire era is look like K2.
Yeah.
Because their behavior, they want to do things. Nothing good get from the people more.
Nothing.
What you can really hear from them.
And this is why people are not celebrating, because those ones that are there, they are not or meaningful to the people in the country. So when you come, you add them, or you're just making a situation worse. That's all.
But maybe, yeah, the funny part. The same people that want to preach the Constitution, the ones that abuse the Constitution on a daily basis, they are the one now, because it adds to their advantage in terms of the money they will be stealing from the Liberian people. Now they are the one telling it's in the law. But these are the people that don't even follow the law. From the budget law, when it comes to tenure position, no, they have no respect for the Constitution. Even when it comes to asset declaration, because all the acts in Liberia were backed by the Constitution, who made it an act of law by Congress. But they don't follow your law. But no, when it comes to putting more seats and bringing more criminals on the gravy train, then it becomes the Constitution. That's the one they understand. Complicate too.
Get you, my brother. Let me be frank. Nothing will get from the people. Look, let's be real to ourselves. Nothing. Someone on the floor to talk about national issue, even if the person is talking about their community or their district, what affecting them. You don't think that you yourself, as lawmaker A or lawmaker C or lawmaker D, you don't think that the same thing affecting your district or your community, but because it's coming from maybe that person into opposition, or maybe they are something like independent, or maybe they're not aligning with you people. So you just disturb the entire session until the person, what they are saying, nobody will get anything out of them. That's the kind of money we're paying. You're paying your free money, you're calling us, you're disturb, you're say anything you want to do. At the end of the day, for independent month, just imagine people voted for you as independent candidate just because they feel that you will do best. You will continue to remain independent, only for you to go and pledge your loyalty to the ruling party.
Yeah, that's just another criminal act, because people will look at you, they say, oh yeah, this man, he not for CDC, he not for Liberty Party, he not for Unity Party, he not for no other party, he's an independent candidate. When he go there, he will be there for us. And this is why he know those people how they are looking. He don't want to align with any one of them. That's just another criminal behavior. And the moment they get there now, okay, I already here now. That one they are finished with them. Then they go in now to align with this other party. You see, then those people that trusted you, you have broken their trust. No more trust. When they thought you call them a nonsense majority. You see, well, that's the bureau for us. You should be thinking about cutting down your tenure position. All these years you're spending down there, you should be thinking about cutting it down, your benefit allowances, and direct the money into the budget to make impact in the lives of the Liberian people, instead of talking about adding more seat up to increase the poverty and suffering on the Liberian people. It makes no sense. That's foolishness.
And you know, the average man in Liberia, the average president in Liberia, one thing they don't understand, as the government grows, every penny that the government spends on herself is mainly taking that penny from you. So the last time we said on the show, when you look at the healthcare budget, they were giving almost $1 per day $1 per year. If you look at all the healthcare facility, and based on the budget, that's the calculation that was done. So if they are going to add 14 more seats, their gas station, their cars, their salary, their entertainment budget, their travel allowances, who you think that money is coming from? It's you, the regular people.
If
So
you
most
nothing
people
wrong,
is there to
then you're right.
celebrate in the name of the country. Maybe you don't understand this thing. Every time a government spends on itself, it only take away from the people. That's why I tell you, anywhere in the world, that one of the things I believe in a thing they call limited government. Because government are not noted for producing results. Private enterprises are the one that can give results. That's why before a government undertake a project, they go hire a private enterprise. Why government can do all the work? They got to go hire because they know the private enterprise will be the one to give you results. Government gets to protect lives and property, put in place law that make us better. And we ourselves, through expertise and background, will build a country that have. When a government paying real, who they get a contract to?
But the first thing, Mark, the first thing is that the government of our time, or this government, or in fact our governance system, always chooses enemy. You know, when they are in oppositions, they will associate with all of the media institutions that talking about the ills to them because they benefit from these talking points, from the thing that we are saying, or to them that we are talking for them. No, but because our people out there who are, I don't know what they think that we are against. No, we are talking about the ills in society. But because John Brown is in opposition, so they will benefit. Then when they come to power more, then they see us as their enemy. For me, I don't understand. Look, Liberia governance system is just terrible that people will use the platforms, they will benefit from all of the ills that you talk about. In fact, they will call in, but by the time they get into these positions, even to call them and say, come on the platform and explain to the Liberian people about what's going on, they won't do it more. They say, oh, man, you people don't let us. Oh, man, you people are against our government. Then the same people who are also struggling to benefit from the politician or from the government, they will join the politicians and classify us as their enemies. Classify us, yeah.
Understand one thing, you cannot blame the politician in the case of Liberia. The reason the politicians believe that people in the media are against them, because the vast majority of the population, they are in sync with the politician. If the politician were getting the backlash from the people, they won't paint the media as being the enemy of the state. But when you get people who are not interested in their own country's growth, they are interested in a political leader and a political party over the country, then it's fair for the politician to accuse us who are talking about the ills to be the enemy of the state, because the people themselves that are being impacted or affected, they are not talking. You see that? We sort of be pushing the mandate of the people, but the people are not interested in their own growth. So every time the politician sees us now, it's be like, oh, Monk then said there and criticize, they don't want to talk nothing good about the government, because what? The people that are suffering themselves believe that the government is doing okay and there is no need to criticize them. So we who choose to play the middleman here, to be fair, to call the red shot, no, we will be seen as the enemy. So I can't blame the politician. That's the difference.
Wonderful. Brother Ali, go ahead, my brother. What say you? Well, quickly, maybe after the news break, then we will transition into the party politics. Then we'll go to the line at 7:30.
But I just said that, my brother, like I said, I'm more interested in cutting down the tenure position, the wasteful spending, direct the money into the budget to impact the lives of the Liberian people, then adding seed up to increase the poverty and their suffering. That's all. Like when you come back from the news break, I saw something a useless statement from the Liberia Council of Churches. Maybe would.
Yes, I think we got to talk about that also in passing. The Council of Churches, their role, and so forth. You're right, but maybe I can leave. If you people are busy, if not, then I can leave your own while you discuss maybe that until we join you maybe after the news break, because we don't want to eat other people who are maybe gradually busy and they want to follow all of the happening monk. So if there anything, then more you and Brother Ali, you can take over for now and talk about other issues. Maybe there are other issues in passing. They want to talk about the issue of security, because of the Chief Justice also Ukraine. I saw some kind of I don't know when they went Nima, right? Ukraine that they gotta be careful. People are not happy with them. People are against them, and all kinds of things. When you were saying though. By the way,
you can show the how they call it, the bulletin, or you want us to keep on going until you
guys. Yes, you people can hold on for me because we're still having some issues. I don't want to play any video because why you put on. So you can hold on and discuss other national issues of concern. Then later on after a news break, I will join you people.
Oh, okay. All right, that's okay.
Yeah, good.
I think it's
Yeah,
about
so you
time.
can go ahead and you and another brother Ali.
Ali, you follow the issue in the Benin?
Not actually. I'm not actually.
Oh
I just saw that thing the last time that they trying to yeah, and later on people they trying to take power by and all that.
yeah.
Nigeria
Yeah.
send troop there and thing. But I think power have been restored back to the president.
Yeah.
Yes.
It just fit the narrative of what happened in Liberia 19. I think doing it with the Kuyonpa coup, wherein some military personnel went to the station to go announce and they fought the coup and the coup failed. But a lot of things happened that led to the coup because Benin happens to be one of the most stable democracies in West Africa, if not entire Africa. The last time they experienced a coup, I think, was 1972, and they transitioned to a multi-party democracy. But a lot of things been happening, even though technically they say that economy is growing, or the president now, how they call him, Patrice or Talon, it's a businessman, so the economy is doing great. But people over the years have been saying, even though the economy is doing better and lives has been improved, but it seems that he consolidating more power, forcing opposition into exile, putting them in jail, and the past election is almost like a rigged election. So they are saying, okay, yeah, we are doing great, we are trying, but equally so the same democratic principle that we call for, like you seem to be eroding those principles, and that's where the problem came from too. But he was lucky because Nigeria intervened. He called Nigeria, and Nigeria play a smart game. Nigeria know that they are jihadist movement all in our region, the Chad, the Nigeria, and Benin. They know you cannot have Benin is strategically positioned right near Nigeria and other major players like Ghana too in that same region.
Because I think Benin, Togo,
Yeah,
Nigeria, something like that.
They closer together.
Closer together.
Yeah. So they understood that if you bring about instability in Benin, maybe it must spill over, especially on the jihadi side with all the Boko Haram and things going on in that region. So we must intervene. So they sent a lot of fighter jet, and I think it was a deciding factor too as to why that coup failed or natural death. And those 8 guys that went on state television, I know they are in hot water right now, including the other conspirators, the co-conspirators. Because when you carry on a coup, you don't want to fall short of making sure you hit the target. Because when you make the target, you become the target. So that's where it's at. But people say tension have been rising. The only difference is the coup, because it happened in Mali, right? It happened in Niger, it happened in Burkina Faso. People say, okay, that the new standard now in West Africa. But this time around, all countries are not the same. Even though there are some resentment against the president, but the coup plotters, they never got the support of the young people in the overall population. And that's one of the reasons they failed. The coup wasn't a popular coup, and people never supported the all-rise. And that's why it was a major failing point in their coup.
Yeah, and they were in hot water now.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, they were in hot water.
Oh,
they were not properly playing. Yes, and Nigeria moved in quickly. And for me, I think the swift move Nigeria made, I was saving, but probably maybe something.
Not only Nigeria, Ghana too. I didn't know Ghana sent air support. I was like, wow. So it must have been serious. But Nigeria is a big donor. So when Nigeria take a bold and decisive action, militarily, I think, like I said, and it was not popular. That the most important thing is not only about politics, because I know in the case of Liberia, they had jet bomber flying all over, had echo on the ground, but still people were being defiant. Because when the people support an insurrection, then it becomes a whole different thing, or a coup, either way you call it. But when it's not popular, then it becomes a tough thing to sell. So the response from Nigeria and other major players in the region, it was able to really, really discourage the military. So those guys, like I said, they are the hunted now instead of being the hunters.
yeah, they are the one that they are going to be.
They are the one they got to go explain. And in worst case scenario, some of them might get killed. I don't know that constitution because it could be a treasonous seduction. And it could come to death by firing squad because every country got their own constitutional law. Yes. You honor man, you face the death penalty, but I don't know what the laws end up being.
For me, looking at the human rights that taking over the world now, maybe it would just be like death sentence or put them in prison. Yeah, instead of putting firing squad and thing, but that will send some warning to other countries now who are planning to carry on such thing. Yes, because other people they succeeded. So people want to be taking that route now to say, oh no, we can't sit and allow anybody to come and do this to us. So yes, but it is what it is. And maybe these things don't just happen. There are some big hands that can be under it. So we are following the story to know.
For me, the only reason, even though we don't pray for coups to happen, the one thing that I learned as opposed to the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, right? These days, the military execute coup without killing innocent people. That's the only thing. If you want your transition of power or you want the military rule, just spare the poor and innocent people. Go straight to the seat of power and remove them. Because people that are not doing well economically, you cannot punish them 2 times. Like you go start from the coup, you start war, you firing rocket, innocent people dying from hunger, malnutrition. No, you don't do that. You want power, you walk to the executive mansion, tell the president, we are the military, we are the last line of defense. You are out. We don't need to kill innocent souls. And that's the only thing. That's what happened. They heard gunshot firing in the presidential palace, and the next thing you know, the coup, it failed. Nobody got impacted negatively, even though they were traumatized for maybe 1 hour to 2 hours. But innocent souls never end up losing their lives. That's the only good thing that I admire about this modern day coup. Spare the poor people out of it. You the military, you got power, go directly to the seat of power and force the president out. Simple as that. We won't go to look at 2 lane night ambush or you throwing a rocket in Greystone, they put in devil. No. We can't do that. We too mature for that. We live in the 21st century. We cannot think like animals anymore. No. We got to think our class, my brother. But yeah, that's it. I don't know why you got on mind.
Why do you make up the Liberia Council of Churches or telling the government to post stop to the June 17 protest because it's about CC time? People will be running here and there trying to get things for their family, this and that, and what have you. People will be carrying on church activities. So now the Liberia Council of Churches,
they play politics now. I tell you, I don't pay attention to this anymore. Those people have lost relevance. They are not that important. They don't stand for their own causes. Like I said, when I was growing up in Liberia as a Peking, I knew the real council of churches, the one that stood with unity in one voice and challenged even a man like a Chester. When he going off track, they were able to stand up to him. Those jokers now in Liberia, I don't pay attention to them. I mean, I'm not so much into religion. I tell people I believe in spirituality more than religion. But those guys, that's all they would do. They will interfere. I don't know why they want to be playing the politics. And had us, you're talking about the season. Okay, I understand the seasons are very important day in Liberia, but how does that interfere with people carrying their protest if that when they plan it? You can't stop protest. Protest will be spontaneous. That's why I say the protesters in Liberia, they are not even serious because nobody set a date for protest. The most I know in modern society, people use platform, they organize spontaneously and everybody go on. They don't plan date. Go have how you be planning protest and go do press conference, right? And you send a date and you go out for permit. That's not a protest, dude. That's just a political merrymaking. It cannot be a protest because I know all the protesters in the world that I have seen. Nobody go spend date. Nobody go ask for instructional permit. Nobody go to police department to go make written statement and calling for permit. No. Something happened in the country within 1 hour and 2 hours, everything is upside down. They do what they have to do. That's just why it is. So I don't blame it. The council of churches but interfere because they know people listen to religious leaders in Liberia. All these things are politics. They know that when the religious leader interfere, it will water down the protest. So even the government can even use them as a decoy to say, you know what, guys, saying you're the council of churches and people listen to you because in Liberia, people put their religion more than their country too. So you can go and water down the protest. They can use them through a backdoor means to fall the protest or to water down the protest. But I don't have respect for those people. It's sad to say, but no. I know they're not real religious men. They are not there for the right reason. The institution has lost its relevance. They are not there. They are not where they used to be anymore. So we are just looking at a watered down version of the council of churches or the religious council. But I don't pay homage to them. I don't respect them anymore. It's sad to say. I will say it again, but I don't hold into high esteem anymore in Liberia from civil society. No, I don't.
And that's the fight. Those people, they had no moral integrity as Christian community to come up, because you people are in our country like doing we are administration, the council of churches, the national Muslim council, whenever they talk about protest, they say, oh, that the people constitutional right. You give them chance to go and protest. Those people used to have press conferences 3-4 times in a week, and the same thing they used to have press conferences for these things are happening times 10 in this administration.
Yeah.
And they don't say anything. They remain quiet. They are silent because everyone of them get government job now.
Oh yeah.
And this is why people with this position are to be people with integrity. If you want to do your government job, then hand the position over to someone else. Because now you can't be in the government, you say, oh, I can't be in the government, I'll be speaking against the government. You see our so-called Chief Imam Ali crying that used to have press conferences 3-4 times a week. He keep it more short now because he on the NPA bowl. He can't talk again. The same thing with the Liberian Christian or Liberian Council or church, they are head. He too, he get in a position. So those people, they had no moral integrity no more in the country. Those things that you people in the country, mysterious death, police brutality, just they go down, somebody went kill, somebody pregnant with more stomach. We see everything that happening, the lawlessness. The government coming with $1.2 billion budget, nothing there for the citizen. You people can speak to the ills in society. You think if you people were speaking to these things that are happening in the country, people will say, oh yes, the council of churches, the religious people, they are talking against those things that are happening in the country. Even like that civil society group, then they will not be complaining about protests and all that thing. If they see you people are talking as religious people, because Liberia, we are people that we are in a gullible society, and maybe when you're talking, the government will start try to take some measures and think to listen to you and say, oh, these are religious people talking, but nothing. And if you people were talking, people would not be talking about protests. But because you people remain silent, it's like everything is well in the country. Things that you people have press conferences against yesterday, these things are even worse than before. We're doing Charles Taylor time. The man who was rebel leader, who left from front line, he became president that everybody was afraid of. Marco Pakala president. That time they can look at Charles Taylor, they tell him to fight. They don't care who he is.
Yeah.
You see, check a former colonel, they care about Charles Taylor, they tell him to fight. Who the men who people were afraid of when they say Gange, he will be to Congo town, ATUSOD. They clear the whole Douala 2 hours before he can even say come and pass
Yeah,
to
the pass, yeah.
or to go Bon country or Bomé country, relocate by all on our side.
Don't make it punish us, Ali. Those guys punish us back. Can you imagine? They may way in Congo town or you on bourgeois island. I thought girl was picking the Eastern Mary. We can cross them.
Yes, when I was in February, when I on my bicycle going to school, when I see the men, I can get up for my cycle. I be all the way in the corner. You used to see religious people coming, telling him the truth, telling him the fight. They even say care. But today we get that kind of government. So to tell you that those people, they are all belly-driven men of God we have in our country. To see this kind of thing that happening in the country, and then you remain quiet, you can't say anything when people talking about protests. You people don't have the balls. You just remain quiet. And
can you imagine, Ali, the painful part, right? This dude is either at the executive mansion or at his Congo town resident. And you way on Bourgeois Alley, or different part of the city. Totally different. Okay. You are few yards away from your school friends and you can't enter because they stop you from crossing the road. And they may not even getting ready to see you to come that route. Can you imagine, bro? I used to be thinking, I said, but what the hell going on here? Like you coming from like I used to come from Conway and thing. You stand over there, my brother. You look at your school friends. You can even throw a little rock. It will tell your school gate, but you can't enter the school because we got to wait for somebody from man, like bro, man.
Yes. You see, if we have religious people that are not afraid to talk to that kind of man, and that now we get those other jokers, they call themselves religious people. It's like this is what Liberia I don't really know, where people don't have the position. And then they will be there to critique the government. They will say this. So it's like people like Ali crying that they wanted government job, send the couldn't get it from George. We are okay. We make sure we will be hard on your government. The Liberia Council of Churches, the same thing. But today, Joseph Bakar say, okay, let me try to keep the people quiet because I'm coming to do the same thing. Before they be hard on me, let me put them somewhere so that I will close their mouth. And that's what happening today in the country. So they really, you're trying to tell those positions. I don't know if they are on salary for this position because you will not be working government paying you. Then you holding this position, they are paying you. You give this position to other people in the church. Okay, then you can continue your government job. The day Joseph Bakar time finish, when next government can they take you off from those positions, you just become flow member in the church. That's all, or in the mosque. But you can't be taking salary as chief imam, or you taking salary as head of Liberia Council or churches, and then at the same time you taking government salary. That's corruption right there. Other people need a salary to take care of their family. You and who can be taking 2 salary in the country if you guys are on salary.
Yeah.
That's not good. You see, you see corruption we're talking about. You and who can be having 2 positions, taking salary, and other people trying to find job. You see, so when I saw that thing, I said, those people, they are not serious people. You have to stop
the religious community is compromised. I mean,
yes, they are compromised. They just undermining themselves to show how they lack integrity. That's why they're showing out there. And you people will remain silent on everything that happening in the country. When people want to protest, then you're talking about the Christmas season. You people supported the June 7 protest from June to July, and we're close to independent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now they have holiday restriction for the protest based on the time of the year, right? And what you think that is?
You see, so
and the protest, not even on December 25th. So even if on December 25th, if that when the protest arises, it will happen naturally. Why you want to stop it? Why you want to pick the time of the year? But do you pick the time of the year for the government to commit corruption? They got a particular time of the year where any government official can see from the government cover or refuse to make remittances into the government's account. No. But when it's time for protest, and then you want to pick the date, you want to determine the season, the time of the year, because you think it will disrupt people's lives. No, protest is protest. That's why I keep saying, even the organizer of the protest, that's why they water down their own protest, because people think about setting time and date and doing press conferences and going for permit, then that's now you just put the government in a better position to undermine the protest. So that's why the protest don't achieve the intended purpose in Liberia. Even though people can jump in the street, but no, the purpose, you already feel the purpose. The moment you compromise it, that's the end of it. You won't get nothing better out. And the government not going to respond because the government know they already finished engineering the outcome. So why would they change the way of doing things?
Yes, Mark, we're back. Even though I was listening to you people, and you people were really talking about a lot of things, especially when it comes to the issue of the council of churches or religious people, the way they handle issues, the way they talk about things, the way they do things, and it just people follow. But again, that's the kind of society that we live in, that our people, they don't even hold anybody accountable, they don't even hold leadership accountable. The only people that is able is the media. Only the media is able to call in and talk and say anything they want to say, but they're not able to hold their own religious people. Here is a letter from Mo Ali, December 2nd, 2019, that was sent to the Ministry of Justice, December 2nd, 2019, about their, we are step down campaign. Step down campaign protest. Why were the council of churches? Let them bring the evidence. Let them bring the document that, yes, when the CPP by them, or when the opposition by them, when they wanted to protest, we said this to them, we said the other thing to them, that it was not necessary. Well, you backed them. You said because things was not fine. So you make yourself to look at a political party. People not seeing you people, religious people, as political party. Nobody going to trust it. No. Until you people can rebrand, but moving forward. Nobody, for me, that's how I see it. Nobody going to trust them anymore. Even while the government move from there, another government come in, another government here and there. Nobody going to trust you, because most of you, Mark, look, let me real. I like that kind of discussion that you people bring up. When you go to the religious people, or when you go to the churches by them, instead of our pastors, our religious people, or our imams telling us about, how to handle issues, how to deal with the critical national issues, they were taking sides. Every time you will hear that, the country is going down the drain, the country is not right, the leader of people killing people. Oh, so what happened yesterday in Lofa County? So what happened with all of the people who are killing people here and there and doing a lot of things? But you blind your eyes because, quote unquote, now you are dining and whining with the government. You want to stop people from me? And I saw more of the post, or maybe comment on Julia just posted. He said that the Liberal Council of Churches should not stop anybody from protesting. It is the right of people to protest. I said, but Mwali, you already on record because you were acting chairman by then for the CPP when you sent communication to the government by then that the CPP want, or in fact, they're thinking about protesting on December, or in fact, in December. So the Council of Churches, for me, they lost it, and they had to rebrand themselves. They had to go back into their closet, because that also bring me back to what the late Senator Prince Johnson said. You know, we played that video when Steve, one time Steve told us, and in fact, that you played the video, that the religious people, they also connive with the politicians to bring us to where we are today. These are claims and counterclaims. These are allegations that have been leveled against you. Instead of you sitting and saying, no, moving forward will not be involved into any kind of political activities. But you understand, you stay into it. Most of you pretend you hold the Bible, you hold the Quran, you move it up and down. At the end of the day, nothing to show to your people. But Mark, I just wanted to pass with that. I enjoyed the discussion, but we're back.
Yeah, maybe so that's it there. You wanted the incoming deacon, so that what your friend are doing, everything they have press conferences for yesterday, 2-3 times in a week about bad governance or mysterious death, hardship in the country, people suffering, and these things are happening times 10 today under Bwaka administration, and they remain quiet. They don't speak out because they feel they are working in government. And when people want to protest, they want to stop them. So I don't know what moral integrity they have for them to tell people not to protest. Like you just said, December 2nd, you talking about more Ali communication, about we are step down campaign, or what it is in protest that they were planning that time to carry on. And it was in the same December. Did the council of churches come out to speak that time? No, they didn't. Because they felt they were not working with our government, so they were there to support every protest in the country, like while the Liberal Muslim Council, they were supporting everything because their heirs never have government job. But today that everyone that they get government job, they are whining and dining with Joseph Boakai, so everything is okay. And this is why you continue to see the Unity Party talking Joseph Boakai is 12 years. Because the critical voices we had in the country during we are administration today, they are all silent. So Unity Party feel to themselves that they are doing better because they have series of protests that they used to carry on during we are administration. Today we are not seeing it. So they feel to themselves that, oh yeah, things are better in the country. That's why you don't see people protesting. You don't see all those critical voices. So that's it there. You wanted the incoming deacon. So if
so you're right. In fact,
a political deacon.
Yes, in fact, I'm a Baptist, and let me be frank. I'm so disappointed. Even if not in most of the Baptists, I know prelates or how you may call them. Even though we don't, we don't take. In fact, we don't hold back our feelings. Even when we go for conference, when we go for all of these things, we don't hold back our feelings. And that's what, for me, that's there where I love God, is by Jesus. Jesus was open to every questions, every discussions, and he was interacting with the people. Which way you go, he will answer. But none of them, my brother, you don't easily ask your pastor or the reverend a question. You see that as an insult, or maybe you see that as a disrespect. No, not reverend, no pastor.
When things happen in the country, you got to pay attention to what's happening. That's why I said they are bought and paid for. They are compromised. And when you are compromised, it means you end up losing your integrity. Let me tell you, I don't know about the Quran or other religious texts, but even in the Bible, when God wanted to rebuke leaders, he used religious people, prophets, to go and send his message directly to those leaders. The reason being because in religion, you make report to God. You don't make report to men. And politics is governance, right? So the reason, even when you look at the whole civil society structure, the religious council carry more authority as opposed to other pressure group, because for them, they cannot be compromised and they cannot take side because they are seeing things from a moral standpoint. The other people in civil society can be engineered, whether it's a pressure group, they can be politicized. But religion, because in religion, you may report to God. You don't report to man. So if a president is getting off tracks, the religious leader should be able to stand and rebuke him without even thinking about any fear or favor, because he's speaking from a moral standpoint. But in the case of Liberia, no. The religious leaders now, they are almost like the pawns, because when you play the game of chess, you use the pawn to protect the king. They are indirectly being politicized. They are politicians in disguise, but they are hiding behind the mosques and the churches and the pulpit. That's exactly what they're doing. So the government don't have that respect for them anymore, because if the government is financing that operation and giving them jobs and putting them on the board, why make you think if you come and tell me about morality, I will listen to you when you already been bought and paid for? So that's the whole thing happening in the country. So I don't count on them. I don't take them seriously. They have no moral compass. They are a bunch of jokers. So they don't carry weight anymore. And when they don't carry weight, the government will even respect them. When the government doesn't respect them, the regular people themselves will have no regard for them. That's where they are right now.
And that's the point, Mom. And where do we go as citizens? Even when there's issues, who do we relate to? Who do we communicate our problem to? Now, by the time there's little maybe tension, the next thing that we want to call for is international community. Go back to Uganda. I will listen to you people. In Uganda right now, as we speak, there are series of happening with the electoral process, the campaign activities, especially for the opposition end. See the way the military or even the security are even intimidating the guys, but they are still strong. They are still moving on, because they know at the end of the day, their country comes first, and there are people there that will talk, and there are people there that will make the kind of decisions. Well, you know, Monk, that you said, my brother, for me, I've been saying this thing forever so long. Liberia is the hustle ground. Most of the people here, Monk, they don't have their country in heart. They don't love Liberia. They are all pretenders. They come here, they hustle, they take their money from here and carry it to Ghana, carry it to America, and live all the best of life. That have most of the pastors, the religious people that have the look. By the time they have their upper hand, the first thing that comes to their mind is how to take their children from here, how to take their wives, how to take their family from here and carry them to the other place of the world and live all the best of life. Because if you care, see the schools, see the faith-based schools, Monk, for God's sake. See how terrible most of the schools are today. Ask them whether they're children in the schools. No. So the same way the politicians behave, the same way the religious people behave. Now the
citizens themselves behave that way, because I can see your tons of Liberian. I tell you something. I told people on this show. I said, maybe you don't want to say the harsh reality. While looking at in that country, if things cannot change for the better, a huge segment of the diaspora Liberian will refuse to go back home. They will find other countries to live in, because they will have given up also, and they will believe that there is no future. Look, Melbourne, good life is part of human nature. That will fuel migration all over the world. Human being through our history always been moving from one place to another in search of a better life. Latin people say, oh, like where I was born, I will be buried in my home. Let me tell you something. Anywhere you find better living is your home. Sure. The only reason you call somewhere your home because human being migrating, because you have strong emotional ties, because your formative year were in the area. So you got that kind of a strong emotional attachment to that area. Ali, your children are in your house. They will tell you that they miss home in Liberia. We are going.
One day, my son even asked me about going back on the ground.
Yeah. The reason you can say Liberia is your home because your formative year were in Liberia. You have strong emotional connection to Liberia. But if you were to create the same emotion in other areas, you consider that place to be your home. That's how life is. So people talking about, oh, I got to die in my home. That they play my neighbor's screen or buried. Okay, you know how many people die places where the neighbor's screen wasn't buried?
But Mom, you see, like you said something. Sometimes when I'm talking about going back home, my children can be like, I want to poverty. Why you going doing that country? I can be like, why the children have poverty? Because you see, they can be like when we were coming to America, the children
right. Because let me tell you, if you say nothing has changed, some people get vexed. Up to now, even most of these structures that you see around today, most of the beautiful buildings here, the people still using bucket. They still using dip. You know, these small cups that we can use to take bath. People start using these things. When you talk, you say, yeah, you know, maybe you people just against the thing that changed. What thing has changed? We don't even know what they call shower.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. 20 years you go on this month. Make us 20 years.
Yeah.
You don't even know what they call shower. The only time that you will, like for some of you, that you will ever experience shower, maybe if you go into somebody high class hotel. But who have the money now to go maintain these kind of things? So even somebody lawmaker, somebody former lawmaker, you go in their home, they don't have shower anymore. Because they don't have the money to maintain these things.
Maybe I want
to ask. Maybe your country. Oh, Ali, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I want to ask maybe a question because I can remember. Excuse me, on Madam Mary Bro, she was breaking down those outside bathroom and thought at that time. Are we still having those things in the country?
My brother, even in West Point, in the national capital, these things stay there. They are makeshifts.
Wow.
Now, look, don't allow people to fool you, my dear brother. People will say what they want to say because of political party. They always say because they have the law political party so much money in their own lives. My brother, all the hostels you see today, some of them are well painted, they look good. Go into their bathrooms. Go into where these people reside. If you not see people taking bath with a bucket, people are not using shower, my brother.
I'll you say a children and say why you so low forward? Because that's why they taught them in school. That's why they teach them. So when you tell them, that's why even you are immigrant when you come here, right? They call it they a cultural shock thing. You look at somebody, right? They look at you. So you say, where are you from? Oh, I'm from West Africa. I'm from Liberia, or I'm from some other African country. Whoa. Do you guys eat with spoon? Why do you think they can be asking the question? Because that's why they were taught. That's why they were programmed that anything from Africa is negatively being impacted. Their education system, their healthcare system. They see it on television. So you cannot blame the children. That's what they call a foundational programming. That's why they learn. So the moment you say, Daddy, I mean, you tell them, say, I want to go back and say, oh, you're going to poverty. Because why you think they say that? You see the picture, they were taught this where you're coming from, they are in poverty. You take them out of a bucket. Like, I'll get looking at a documentary wherein the foreign government they try to digitize their curriculum where the children will be using a tablet instead of the regular notebook. Now, if you get a country next door that is going to tablet and you stay sitting there on their block in the school because you don't even have a desk or a bench, you think 20 years from now you will be able to compete with the kids that are using tablet in school? So the people
One of the happening here in Liberia. You have to graduate from high school. Just imagine, though, you have to graduate from high school before going to computer school to know how to put computer on and off. Mom, 20 by that time you almost maybe you 20 years or 25 years. You don't know how to put computer on or to put it off in high school. You have to graduate. You function more vocational. Look, Mom, this country is terrible. It's terrible. And you know when you say these things, people feel that you're against these people. No,
yeah, you guys in the country, right?
But this country is terrible.
When I told them,
like for example, right now, my son who in the first grade, but now he's supposed to have a computer and know about all of these things. Even home, when we go home, the man can put the television on. The man know how to change the channel, go to DSTV, search for any kind of channel you want to watch.
Yeah, that's how it's looking. When I told my children 2028, I taking them back to Liberia, and they were telling the two smaller ones, they say, you guys are the one going. Tenga will be 18 years, Tenga will be 19 years.
19 years, yeah. Can you imagine the minute they stay here?
So they say, Amisha, Amina, that two of you going. Me, I will be in college and not going.
I'm going there. You're on your own.
You see?
But anyway, maybe let's hear from our people.
We pray for a better country. We pray for a better country.
Liberia is say nothing has changed. So now they get angry. They say, oh yeah, why else say so? What did change? When we start talking about in bucket. Hey, man, every time you won't be backing politicians. Let me move to the line. Yeah, David King, good evening.
Good evening, people. And let me say good evening to you and Mom.
Yeah, my brother, go ahead.
See, before he cancel approach, we will never listen to them. Because you know why? The chairman for that party, these guys are politically compromised. People who, when we had a passing the house, he took illegal speaker like Richard Cole and went and honor him. He stole on upon such a illegal man who was not even speaker, but he passed the budget. And the president who is also involved in the breaking of the law of our land. And if people going to tell us something for us to listen to, we're not listening to them because they don't have the pen to speak to us. Yesterday, when we saw things going wrong in the country, people did not speak to the fact. But everything that happened here during the administration, they were talking about it or issuing press releases. Today, because they all are board members, some are reserved on the board on NASCAR. So what do we expect for him? Nothing good. So we will not listen to them with John Molo. Come the 17th, we're going to send out a clear message to the government of Joseph Boakai to know that he's not leading this country on a good path. We have to make it understand if he cannot lead, let him lead. And that is our message. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear brother. Keep a course coming to this caller. Good evening.
Yeah, good.
Mark and the rest of the team, go ahead.
Council, then he said he has board member of one of the government entity. And also, what was the council of justice when they call them people down from the Ministry of State? What was the council of judges when people were kept back in trouble? What was them? What was the council of judges when President Waka is doing $10 million United States dollars in Lofa? Where are the council of judges? The council of judges need to give people chance. When they now get, they need to start getting miracle because it's our right to protest on the law, but to do it in peace. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Let me move to Brother Louis. Louis, I don't know what it is. All I talk touch you again. But good evening, my dear brother.
The Council of Churches, fortunate for Reverend Reed, the one from the Baptist Church, he was appointed one of the board and he stepped down. But they had no integrity and they had lost value. Look, the Council of Church in Le Mans said, back in the days, Marco Bacala Francis, the Archbishop of the Cali Diocese, Sheka Fumankone, Reverend Dix, when people speak, can you imagine one of my serious disappointment as it relates to the Council of Churches when we had the saga at the legislature, the majority bloc and the minority bloc struggling on the speakership? I thought the Council of Churches would have gone into dialogue. Instead, they talking like war to a war, Richard Cole. Can you imagine? So the integrated group will be there to dialogue. Gentlemen, you'll find a way. The lab report look forward to you. But it's when it talks out. So what sort of group is this? And prior to the Council of Churches, Monk was saying something. When you look at Liberia, you can forecast, you can predict that Liberia is going nowhere. Because in order to go somewhere, Monk and Milborn and Aliu, is the kind of preparation you will do. Look at the current state of the country. Look at the educational sector. Look at the skill sector. Politicians are just bankrupting the country. Look at the budget here. They have increment. That is why I told you. The other time I told that I told Mom. And I told you, I say, I'm waiting for Musa ability there every student. If the budget are before they draft when you pass, with all that increment in 7-7, I'm going to work out. Because if the draft is before them, I'm going to them directly 1 month. My stand will be, I won't insult them. I won't bring insult on them. But every talk show inability, while we see him speaking, while we hear him speaking, I will go there. They have to do everything is before them. They are the direct representative of the people there. So they put anything there for the 7-7 in the draft. If they let it drop past the policy, the deal, the ability, the episode, I will go after them and tell them that they are for nothing. They got an increment. So what happened with the 7-7 increment? That increment budget not even realistic. But the fact that the budget is 1.2 billion and the other sector, their increment there before the legislature. If our power the 7-7 now, we're not protest to go there now with the top budget on and say we want something there for all. If I will later trap, you're trapping there for all. If our power the 7-7, if I'm watching with the 7-7, we're going to be to that capital building.
Well,
to venge our anger, we got to venge our anger on these guys.
Thank you.
Pass 1.2 billion ever. We now track in the budget for 7, we increase for 7 cents. Then what's the use? I thought what budget increase, people's salary and benefit in the rural should step up. Then what's the seniority now for the increment?
Well, thank you, Brother Louis. Yeah, thank you. God need to come and help us. Louis, I don't know. You got to come on the show, Louis. Actually, I like you. Yeah, I don't know. I just like you. But today's caller, good evening.
Good evening, good evening to the panelists.
Yes, my brother, go ahead.
My name is Aaron Barker. I joined the conversation for Yapan County. Thank you so much for the landlord this evening. But I believe the churches, the Council of Churches in Liberia, they have lost credibility. Absolutely lost credibility. Could you imagine if they can advise the government not to allow people to protest, but they are not able to tell the government or they advise the government not to do the wrong thing? The rules of law that have been broken in this country, they are not there to advise the government not to do the wrong thing. Look at, to go to the rural area and see how the kids, the school-going kids are sitting on the bathroom.
Even the religious people, the faith-based schools. The faith-based school, most of the schools the same.
Nothing. Go and see even the clinic that in the rural area and see how the area is, how the area look like. They are not speaking to the government. They are not able to tell the government that this is the need, the right thing you're supposed to do. Like today, if the government can be boasting of $1.2 billion, what is trickle-down effect? That the citizen will have a trickle-down effect on the citizen. My brother, they are just there to enrich themselves. But the Council of Churches, they are not there to advise them to do the right thing. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, my dear brother, from Bon County. To this caller quickly. Good evening.
Yeah, how are you doing?
We okay, my dear brother. Thank God for life. Go ahead.
Thank God, anyway, I'm calling from Virginia, District 17. This one is very much regrettable that Labrador is dying slowly under the regime of President Walker. People told us not to vote Walker, and we said that he's the old man, he has the experience, he can deliver this country. But it's very much regrettable to have him as the president in this country. This is the time that we should be talking about creating a district, lawmakers. The one that we have, we're suffering. The country is dying. Then you're talking about creating 14 districts. This is how President Walker should be telling the Liberian people.
But it's by law now, so you can't blame President Walker too. It's by law, and the census, the 2022 census reports that indeed our population increased from 3.4 million to 5.2.
Something in law and they deny it.
I like that.
The population grows to 30 million. This is what we should be talking. The senior people that we have, we suffer in their name. So are you telling us that we're coming look for another 45,000 worth of car?
Good. So just add the mathematics, the 45,000, the 8,000, the 2,000, all the 1,000.
All the 1,000 are all. You're going to buy about 14.
Thank you, my dear brother. We got to do interesting, man. So that's what it. Yeah, hello to this caller. Good evening.
So thank you, Mabel. This is for the Prince Kolake. And currently I call for the Kolake Avenue in District 5.
Wow.
So
they may get one avenue
yesterday to have a repeat of the topic that was yesterday. I tried calling, but I couldn't go through, and you said the two-party system, what can we do in order to bring another party on board? It was something you promised, but all of a sudden the topic
too many news. So that go ahead.
Yeah, so should I lay my thought on yesterday issue or should it be today's issue?
Yeah,
today. My brother, you are
okay, so I think the issue about the two-party system, for me, I can squarely blame CDC or Unity Party. 2017, when another person was coming into the picture, the person was suppressed, the late Councillor Charles Brosney. You can remember the case that went to the court. Can you imagine with all the evidences the late councillor presented? But what happened? even the dissenting view of the former associate Justice Cabinet General, he said, according to the electoral law of 2017, whenever there are fraud committed certain error, and it is established there should be a real wrong. So my police, you agree that there was a fraud, but you're saying that the magnitude of the fraud does not warrant real wrong. And the definition of fraud is cheating. No small cheating, no big cheating. Because of the dissenting view, what happened when CDC took over, they felt the man was suppressing and you wanted to take them out of the picture. They removed the man from all the Supreme Court bench, but unconstitutionally. So if the Supreme Court have looked at evidences, look at mature evidences presented at that time and rule in favor of Liberty Party today, Unity Party or CDC, one of those people, they have gone. But yes, and now, to today's topic, I think it's a gross constitutional violation to the part of those protesters. Look, the Constitution said all citizens at all times in a peaceable and orderly manner, you can petition your government. So for council of churches to come now and say no because Christmas coming, this and that, no. And more bizarre, I think it's a repeat. Some people see this now, they are last year at the council of churches. But yesterday, Bishop Isaac Winger at the time when you were serving as the board chair for JFK during the CDC regime, for 1 year done with CDC, during the Jonestown protest, what did he say? He took on to the media to curse us. Saying there are curse and form of people that really protest and what have you. All that today, you know that the council of churches, they are biased. They have been remote control by any regime. But I move from there, never regime can. The council of churches that will be there, the head, they will want and down with that people. You saw our council of churches.
All right, thank you.
To President, we are here for the North Church.
Thank you, my dear brother. Let's give other people the opportunity. Today's caller to good evening. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Like in Lower Johnsonville. I will say thank you and your co-host in the dance floor. I think that maybe the government of Liberia has just been at a total ability on the Liberian to pass a sensitive for also and the president, the three branches. Then today, the national legislature created an additional 14 districts. It is completely a mockery out of the Liberian people. Where the resources will come from to facilitate those people? They are these guys what? They only work for themselves. The amount of them will work for themselves and their children. That has been an attribute of the three branches of government. Not in this age and time. Liberia is the only country in the world that when you are not working in government, you cannot live in better life. That's complete farming. So the citizens have to rise up. And answer to the Liberian Council of Churches, I think the reality that advance should have been directed to President Boaka. Boaka is building 10 million kind of money in Lofa County. We have flagged the issue. What have been the response of the Liberian Council of Churches? They have been muted. This one Saturday, the Unity Party used 6 million state resources to purchase new party headquarters. The Liberian Council of Churches remain muted. Anyone can lecture us about what we know?
All right.
That's complete.
All right. Thank you. Today's caller quickly. Good evening. And I just like the way all of you have the number stored in your phone. You already announced the number, but you're calling. Go ahead. That's good.
All right. This is the common motion. For the essential of your conversation, are you saying that there is an MOU that was signed between the government of Liberia and the Liberia government, right?
The U.S. government, and that of the government of Liberia.
U.S. and Liberia, right? Let the government prove me wrong. But therefore, these guys are propaganda. Therefore, let me tell you what is happening. We are the district government is fighting the home. The district government is fighting the home. The politicians are going to come over. Okay, I don't know how much billion, how much thousand. But there was some billion I came from China last time and I never realized it. So that's
that one for us.
But that MOU, either you work based on your performance or the people themselves they withdraw from the MOU, not something to say. I just remember understanding.
Yeah, but the MOU give us down the other of 5 billion, which is 5 billion. So I want to get it. But people let me conclude around the issue of the house people are on the more long therefore this our president told you will run or slow a executive government. But if you can just allude to what I'm saying as one of the research, this is a president that what is more advanced than any other president is going to do. This is a government that we are seeing a lot of offices. For instance, we heard that the other guy from the other former senator from Bomika was the other Lizon of the beginning of the second year, and the city. We have not had a certain position before unless Mr. Blacker draw it. So instead of running on you setting a small government, this president is increasing the size of government. We are already suffering, no help. They increasing the size of government. And most actually, the council of churches that is scheduled today to talk, they have never said anything about bad government in Labrador. They have seen all the agencies in this government. They have now spoken about it.
Well, thank you, the common people. That wouldn't really want you can cause. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, my brother.
These guys, I call them the word gamer or being who were in the word gamer and holding power in their hand with their logic or a crooked people.
Okay, thank you. You will still go to the churches. Today's scholar quickly, good evening. Yeah.
You say the people you won't call your number before the people
I said, just imagine having another number today, but the calls, the numbers is just. Hello? Yeah, go ahead quickly, please. Thank you, my dear. It is indeed interesting. I like the reactions. Today's caller, good evening.
Good evening, how are you today?
My brother, you know, he's a God, but we still taking my bucket. They say something changed.
My name is Mahmoud Sefu. I'm calling you from Browville. You know, people, life either change for better or it change for worse. So where we are, that is the place where we are. But I just wanted to chip in on the issue of the Liberia Council of Churches. The Liberia Council of Churches, you know, their requests for, I think they are getting the backlash to say from the public, no matter what our intent was like, maybe they are looking at, oh, there will be a lot of people around, and people will be out. There's an easier way people can manipulate people, and things will go out of him. But the backlash is too much. But also, I would like to take it from the point that, you know, whenever you are doing criticism or you are trying to pick up on someone who knows or recommendation, you should be able for you to look at it from
the other side.
Background. Yeah, from the other side. You know, currently, the way the other caller said, he says, see these people that are saying that they are laughing, and another caller came and said, you know what, they shouldn't laugh because they are saying they want a dying wave, they see council of churches. That does not matter to me. What matters is the concern that they are raising, that there will be a lot of people, but instead they should just say, you know what, if you are going to both the government and to stand behind the scene to either postpone the period of time, that is you shouldn't come to the public because that is the way in which they should be mediating on this kind of thing. You know what, Stan, you get an issue. You can be able to demonstrate, to go and protest. But you think during the season period, even things go wrong, Stan, you say you can be responsible for citing people. Government, yes indeed. Stan has a right for them to demonstrate. But do you know why? We are talking to them for them to carry up to maybe January or so because of the Christmas season. So that is from where that is the background I'm speaking from.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, my dear brother. Take one more call. Cross over to our team. I didn't have a little time to respond to all of you, the callers. Indeed, that's interesting. Liberians, look, let's be true to power, no matter which side you fall. Yeah, my brother. Yeah, today's caller, good evening.
Yeah.
Oh, my brother, credit of him, man, as well. They 3 day been. Hello, today's last call. Good evening. Hello, my brother. Good evening. Quickly, go ahead.
All right. Well, the second one, last one, already too. Now, the kind of position the council is taking fun at them now. You can't go back to the should negotiate. I want to get all the three what they're doing there. Because for a year, we saw the attacks of the protest. They were in December. They still come out, judges.
Yeah, but a lot of times they were controlled by you. Now, what other people are saying, the people are saying about them, the country, so the country of China will be controlled by government. The other government that will come, they will control them. So they're saying that about them, the country of yeah. But you are saying that. All right. Thank you. Let me tell my uncle quickly, then we'll go because we gotta go. Uncle Brantate, good evening. Interesting.
Yeah, very, very interesting. I mean, monitoring you guys, more, and all panelists on the show. I want to thank you. Even my man Louis, I want to thank you also. But you see, the council, they say out. I think what they should have done was to caution government to give the people, protections. You see, that's what you do. Because you are the moral voice. But to issue that kind of really when you are not issued before, they will be in the draw here. So then you kind of lucky the people receiving. I mean, they deal them. I mean, they pay for it.
All right.
So thank you so much, man.
Thank you, Uncle. We gotta go, my people. It's not even though my uncle not talk about the additional seats, but more we just have roughly about maybe that's just 4 more minutes. Maybe you can use the time you and Ali to respond. Then we'll go home for the day.
Well, the callers say, well, they did their thing. The only thing is we'll still do some further investigation because don't forget this whole thing about this healthcare system that the government son is a memorandum of understanding. Memorandum of understanding are not like contract, they are non-binding. It's just a legal document saying that we can collaborate in the future. So don't make it a seem like you have secured 124 million. And the reason I say that because when this new Trump administration came in, I was advocating for transparency. They are not scrapping USAID. All the Trump administration was saying, the true intent of USAID was to put money in U.S. strategic interests in poorer countries. But they noted that only 12 cents were going to this country out of every dollar. It means criminals in Washington were stealing 88 cents out of every dollar. So what they did, they canceled the USAID and put it under the State Department to re-examine all the program and then maintain the one that was going to people. So maybe it could be Liberia could benefit, but it didn't mean that because USAID, they're not closing the program. They are just carrying on a review to see which one benefit this country rather than people stealing money here in the name of USAID. But like I said, we'll carry on some detailed investigation on this so-called memorandum to get a clear idea because I know Unity Party, they are capable of pulling jackrabbit anytime because we say, oh, the Sudan government going to say,
they put looking for news. They put looking for all kinds of news just to get their supporters, happy. You see. But Ali, you gotta go, my brother.
Yeah, maybe, or I think I listened to one of the caller, and he was talking about the December, this and that. So it will, even if they can postpone or push the protest back to that of January. But you just read something about from Mo Ali December 2nd. Where were the Council of Churches at that time when doing the We Are Step Down campaign that they in the scene December? Why they didn't, like the last order said, this is something that had never happened in Liberia before. So the only thing they want to tell the government to make sure they give the people security to protect them so that they can carry on peaceful assembly or protest or whatsoever that they want to do. But they missed the full step. And this is why we are going to beat on them. Yes, they missed the step. They shouldn't have done that. Le Monde said, this $124 million, this is just an MOU. Okay, maybe they will tell you, yeah, these are things that we want you to do. When you go by this thing, then we will be able to go into it. Failure on your part is not going to work. So once again, congratulations for the government.
Ali, any thought? I want to give a quick announcement before we.
Yes, once again, congratulations to the government, and we wish and we pray that we should get it. Even though we know when they get it, it won't be used for the intended purpose, but at least let they get it. And this is the responsible government. Maybe this time around, Joseph Waka will do the needful for the Liberian people as he calling for time, and he get 124 million. I think he can use it purposely because he promised free health care, and I think this is the time that Liberian people will get it. Till we can see you again. God bless America. God bless Liberia. Thank you all.
Are you? Mark.
Yeah.
Go ahead quickly. You say you're.
No, I think we're good. I just look at the timeline because I saw some communication from the U.S. embassy, but it was dated back to 2022.
Oh yes,
It might be something that happened.
Yeah. So we'll do that tomorrow morning by the grace of God, and that of the look. Those of you who are also requesting about the party politics, so we will do this. And don't worry, I said nothing a normal thing. Every time we come here, we'll talk about party politics, how you've been going, what have been happening, about the reason why today we stay backward. But again, people, good night. More thanks to all of you. We'll see you on tomorrow by the grace of the Almighty God. Please, let's stick to the issues. Let's discuss the forward march of our country and forget about political party, love, and so forth. Good night. I'll see you all on tomorrow by the grace of God, Mark, and that about
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We searching for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the club. Qualified people who waiting to sell. The blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The brothers giving us here and the promise of them. The work with my life we have here.
I lyrical health.
Master.
Clever so make you I can't Sktv menyo. Say my journey, tina get I say my jamo. And you no money, emu aye yo. And you love emu aye yo. What is
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandmother.
Ena Guinea ya tumale, ena Salia ya tumale, ena Conakry ya tumale, ena Cote d'Ivoire ya tumale, ena Guinea ya tumale, ena Salia ya tumale, ena Conakry ya tumale, ena Cote d'Ivoire ya tumale, ena Nigeria ya tumale, Sktv, ena Nigeria, tosi wako maya tumale.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandmother.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We searching for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Qualified people who waiting to sell. The blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving are real and the promise my best. To work with my life we have here. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside to Raji to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat, to San to Bacalu, from Maryland, Bonkan to Maggie B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.